I introduce to you the new project bike. This is a 1982 XR250R. This bike is 37 years old and it's in great condition. So the first thing I want to do is show you guys how clean this bike really is. So please just ignore the fender. We're gonna do something about that later. Forks are in great condition. Looks like seals and everything is all good. It's not leaking. This front wheel is wobbling like crazy, so we need to true that up. Pipes are getting a little bit rusty, but still in great condition. And look at this engine, you guys. I mean, it's got some dust on it, some scratches, but looking really good. I was laughing about these foot pegs the other day though. Look at the size of these. They're like not even an inch wide. 2003 foot peg, 2018 foot peg. And this bike is super original. I mean, I think almost everything on it is original. We're not gonna be painting the frame or anything crazy. Just gonna be fixing this bike up a little bit, changing a few things for my buddy Kike so he can ride this thing around with me. Now this bike has a lot of history both to Honda as well as my friend Kike. This bike was actually the first bike ever to have the Honda ProLink system. This is basically like modern day linkage. So this was a huge advance for dirt bike technology when this came out. And I would imagine it adds some value to this bike, or at least it's more of a collectible. It's super cool that these old bikes used to come with Honda bags on the back. We're gonna try to fix this zipper, get this restored up. So this bike is also very special to my friend. It was his father's bike, and he grew up with this bike. His dad would ride him around on it, and he always wanted to ride the bike himself. And eventually, when he got old enough, his dad said, if you could start it, it's yours. And that day came, and the rest is history. So this bike to him means as much or more than my CR means to me, which is actually getting some more work done right now. You know, it never ends. So what I'm going to be doing is rebuilding all of the ProLink linkage system, rebuilding the rear shock, rebuilding and tuning this carburetor. We're gonna be painting these bars and maybe these exhaust pipes. I'll try to bend these levers back, and we're gonna try to true up the wheels as best we can on the bike. I don't have a truing stand, so. Honestly, the sprockets and chain really aren't in that bad a shape, so there's a bunch of things that we're leaving right now and we might fix up later, but this is a budget project. You know, we don't want to spend more than, I don't know, $400 or $500 if we can. So we're going to be trying to keep the cost down on this one, but it's going to be fun for me to do on the side. I'm really looking forward to this man getting a bike back so we can start riding every day. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna say is this video series is gonna be a little bit different. Gonna be shorter, maybe just 2 episodes. So my plan is to focus on doing the work, not the filming and editing this time. So these videos are more or less just to document the restoration of this bike. I'm still gonna be putting most of my focus and energy in the YZ build, making those videos crazy. But I just had to show you guys this bike. I think it's super cool, and I think once we fix it up a little bit, you guys are gonna be pretty impressed with how it looks. And I know you'll be impressed with how my friend rides it. So stay tuned, guys. Got the swing arm out, shocks out, airbox, everything in the back. So looking at the swing arm, everything is insanely dirty. This is the dirtiest stuff I've ever seen. The chain slider just snapped off. It was so old. It cracked off right there. But anyways, these bearings don't look too bad. And this is actually the only bushing or bearing that has gone bad. All these other ones use, well, these two use like a greasing point, and they're both in good condition. I guess you just keep greasing them and they'll last even though they're really dirty. I believe this one is good as well, so I'll just have to replace that one. This top shock bushing is also really rusted. I'm just gonna have to clean it up the best I can and try to reuse it because they don't even sell this one anymore. And this is probably what I'm gonna be working on next. Disassembling this shock next and just making sure it's all good inside. Probably just service it, put it back together, recharge it. Everything else is off the bike, like I said, and the stuff looks pretty decent actually. We're just gonna repaint the exhaust. And this is the other major issue, is there's a large crack right there in the air boot. And you know, you can obviously see somebody has fixed this before. It's only dumb if it doesn't work though. And we're probably gonna do the same thing, so can't hate too hard. And the main thing with this bike is it's 37 years old and it's so hard to find parts. You know, I gotta go to eBay and multiple different OEM parts distributors just to try to find one part. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna reuse what we have to and get some new stuff if we can. It's gonna look great. I also need to pull this carburetor out. It's really dirty, but more importantly, we gotta see what kind of jets are in there and try to rejet this bike. It's running good. It starts up, a little hard to start, but it starts up, it idles great. And it just bogs a little on the bottom. I think it might be running a little rich. And on the top, it bogs really hard. But the biggest problem is the main jet needs adjustment. When he gets on full throttle, it tends to cut out sometimes. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out now. Got the carburetor out, and as you can see, we got some JB weld or something going on here. Definitely doesn't have the right O-ring in there, and they just tried to seal it up. This thing's really dirty as well. So I'll be going through, cleaning it up, see if I can refinish this surface and get some O-rings for it. Maybe the right screws would be nice. And yeah, I'll try to see what jets are inside and go from there. Probably go a little bit richer on the main jet. Alright, we got some serious problems going on here. Starting with this bowl nut. This thing is completely busted, and it was just hanging in there with this JB weld. That's all that was holding it to the bottom of this float bowl, which has a ton of debris in here. It's got damage in here, it's corroding. Floats are damaged. And if you look here where the main jet goes in, this is all effed up. I mean, that's just not gonna work. I think at this point we're probably going to buy a brand new carburetor. We've already talked about it. He knew that this carburetor had issues. I thought that it maybe just needed some jets, but after seeing this, it's not even worth it, man. This thing is wrecked. So we're gonna try to pick up another carburetor, or maybe even get one made. We'll see. So I'm gonna push this to the side and go ahead and open up this shock and see how things are looking inside of this. Woo! This stuff is nice and dirty. Got the Kike here helping out. How cool is that? Working on his own bike. For everyone who doesn't work on their own bike, I got nothing to say to you. Nah, I'm just kidding, but we're doing good. This is all gonna get cleaned up. We're gonna be painting the linkage and the swing arm. And we're thinking about taking the whole bike down at this point and painting the frame in doing the forks, actually just doing all of it. So that's where we're at now. But it's gonna be some pretty crazy before and after results from this bike. I cleaned up the old shock spring and it's looking mint. It's got a couple marks on it, but for 37 years, not too bad.
Took it to Matsuri, so they did like a lot of work that had to be done.
Well, that's gonna do it for this first episode of the XR250 rebuild. I hope you guys are enjoying this new project. Like I said, it's something very different. And in this video, I did a lot of talking and introduction on the bike, but in the next few videos, it's going to be a lot more work, and we're just gonna be getting through this project as quick as possible while still doing a great job, because I have already purchased the next build for the channel. Like I said, this is a little mini build with the XR. I'm helping out a friend, but I'm going to be announcing what the next build will be, and it's actually a bike for my wife. Some of you guys have seen it if you follow me on Instagram already. I personally have been riding the bike and having some fun with it also before we tear it down and change it all up. But something that's really gonna throw you guys off, the next video I'm going to be getting my XR250R ready to be sold. I'm going to be selling that bike because I did re-injure my knee and I tore the same ligament in the same knee that I hurt a year and a half ago. So it's time for me to take a break from the motocross. I'm going to be selling that bike, and I'm also not going to be doing a lot of riding in general. First, I need to get another surgery, and then I'll be going through all the rehab and recovery another time. And then I'm just gonna be focusing on my channel and cranking out some more builds and trying to build it up so that in a year or two, I'll be ready to ride again and come back and really enjoy it, kind of take things a little slower, and yeah, just appreciate riding for what it is. Thank you so much to all the people that support my channel and my work. And if you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you would, please hit that like button for me. It's a little thing that helps me out. And drop a comment letting me know what you guys thought of the video, and if there's anything you want to see or I can improve on, I'm always down to listen to that. So thank you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.